He's not in the starting lineup. I would think he would play.
DeVell Phillips, Austin Williams will jump it up. We are underway. James Madison in the road purple uniforms. Drexel in the home whites, as Nate mentioned. We'll keep an eye on Tremaine Isabel, second team All-CAA, second in the league in scoring. And he'll be coming off the bench if he comes in at all. A steal to start things off by Snowden, and a quick whistle to start things off the officials today. Anthony Franklin, John Wall, and Matt Dorn.
Those are the kind of fouls you don't want to have. 50 feet from the basket. It adds up later in the basketball game. Just not a smart way to start.
Foul was on Demir. And there's Matt Lewis, our player to watch. He was red hot in the month of February. Mosley, the lefty, gets things started.
Well, you go under the screen on Stucky Mosley, he's going to burn you. You just can't do that. You got to fight over the top of it.
Mojica inside to Demir. Extra pass, Williams. Williams inside.
Big to big is the greatest pass you can have. Good job for Demir.
Here's Snowden on top. Darius Banks, an all-rookie team selection. Two players on this James Madison team making the All-CAA squad for the first time since 2009. And Banks and Lewis and Phillips.
DeVell Phillips might be the X factor in this game. Really athletic, really quick. Only 8 points, 9 points a game, but if he can get hot early, that's good for the JMU Dukes.
Phillips has 4 double-doubles on the season.
Yep.
He's had games where he's looked great. He's had games like the one he played against Delaware a couple games back where he only registered 4 minutes. So I think you're exactly right. He could be an X factor for this James Madison team. Zach Spiker can't be thrilled with 2 turnovers to start.
No, and both teams basically man-to-man, so if you move the ball and move bodies, you give the defense a chance to mess up and then take advantage of it with an open jumper.
Foul on Lee. Send Matt Lewis to the free throw line. 5th best free throw shooter in the CAA, 82% on the year. And we're both so impressed watching Matt Lewis play as a rookie.
Well, you talk about the fact he's 6'5", he's a point guard. He has the least turnovers of anybody of the guys that play significant minutes. And on top of everything else, he's a plus 80% free throw shooter who's going to have the ball in his hands late game situations or end of clock situations.
Might have been the earliest broadcaster jinx this tournament has seen. We're not even 2 minutes in, and already we jinxed him at the free throw line. But
we set a record.
Little for 2, a rarity.
He's a freshman, little nerves. Understandable.
Kirk Lee was All-CAA rookie team a year ago, point guard for this Drexel squad. And we see very quickly Tremaine Isabel into the game. Nearly the 3rd turnover. Williams dives for the basketball to keep possession, and a foul. Just going back to Isabel again. Late for the team bus, and I like that. Zach Spiker says, you know, I don't care if you score 21 points per game or 2 points per game. You don't come on time, and you don't get to start.
We got rules. You got to follow the rules. And as a coach, you think maybe he's a little mad at me, and I'll go for 40.
He's done that before. 5th time in school history that a player for Drexel scored 40 points in a game. Isabel did that against Elon earlier in this campaign.
Nice change of pace.
Lee can't get the floater to go, and then an over-the-back called against Austin Williams.
Well, that's the new rules now. You got to call all the bumps on rebounds. I don't like it, but it's the way it is. And Williams gets one.
Drexel, a physical team.
Very much so. Big, strong team up front.
And they've always been. Philly team has that mentality. Down by 2.
Look at that matchup. When Matt Lewis has the ball, Kirk Lee's 5'9", guarding him. He might post him up later if that matchup continues.
Snowden missing on the 3, and there's Williams with a rebound. Isabel. That was a pass to Williams and a good save.
I was going to ask you, shot or pass? I agree, pass.
Phillips with the follow.
Isabel's got a couple baskets already. Just pick up the scraps. You don't have to shoot the ball. He's a good shooter, 59% because he shoots them around the basket. Get those little ones, get your confidence up.
Phillips, a transfer player, went to DePaul. And now a big part of this James Madison team on the inside. Shot clock is 10 for Isabel. Inside, missing, but drawing the foul. And he is so difficult to guard is Tremaine Isabel because he can shoot the outside shot or get to the rim with ease, as we saw there.
Great first quick step. And for young people who are trying to, you want to be a guard, you want to be a two guard, a point guard, you got to learn to change speeds. He's amazingly good at changing speeds. Little hesitation, then blow by the offensive or defensive player.
Foul was on Phillips. Tremaine Isabel, 76% from the free throw line on the season. Second leading scorer in the conference, only to the player of the year, Justin Wright Foreman of Hofstra. He made an impact, transferred from Missouri, came a long way from Seattle, Washington, and a top-notch talent for Zach Spiker's club.
At 6'5" and 5'9" guarding him. That's an interesting matchup there at the point guard for both teams.
See if they go to the matchup on the inside. Lewis in the paint, can't get it to drop, but he'll go back to the free throw line where he's 0-2.
He's going to learn. He's a freshman, he's a freshman right now after all these games. I don't consider him a freshman. Bank that ball. You're in the lane, you got bumped. If you slam it off the glass, two things happen. One, it might go in. Two, if you miss it, it comes right back to you. Shoot the rim, it's really hard to do. Try to pay it off at the line.
Lewis 0 of 3, again, 5th highest free throw percentage in the CAA coming in, but a rough start at the free throw line. And you were saying, when you get into tourney time, when you get into the month of March, freshmen, no longer rookie status.
No, they're freshmen. They really are. You got to have great athletes have to have a lousy memory. He's got to forget those and just keep playing. He made that second one.
It's been 3 minutes since Drexel made a shot from the field.
You know how hard that is to fall and keep the dribble? That's impressive.
You were talking about the acrobatics of Isabel in the open. Demir can make that shot. Misses there, though.
I like the penetration and kick just to make the shot, but he's wide open. Speaking of wide open, whoa. See, a freshman jacks that ball right there. He didn't do that. He's learned. Remember, this young man did not start the year off as a point guard. Didn't play the point in high school either.
Have a very talented Bishop O'Connell High School, and a turnover for James Madison. Banks upset he didn't get the assist there, but that'll bring us to our first timeout. James Madison with a 3-point advantage on CAA.TV.
To play that game. Good for them. They won that game, and it helped them in the seeding situation, but it's just a discombobulated week, to put it best.
That's tough. You don't hear about the bumps a whole lot. No, fever, headache, muscle aches, tiredness. Men's basketball team, women's basketball team, both got booster shots. Everybody is healthy now and showing no signs of fatigue early on, 5 minutes in with a 3-point lead.
Coming out of the timeout in the zone, and Drexel wasn't really ready for it. We'll see if this man can remedy the situation.
3 seconds for Isabel, and he's yet to make a field goal. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Drexel.
And Matt Lewis couldn't handle the ball. And that wasn't a bad shot. It was the only shot he could take because the clock was disappearing on him.
Been 4 minutes since Drexel made a bucket. Isabel spinning, fading, floating.
That's just too easy. They don't recruit non-athletes at Missouri. That's where he went to start. He's a big-time player.
He had a fine career at Missouri before
did.
coming over to Drexel. Scored double figures against Texas A&M 2 seasons ago, as there's a foul against James Madison.
Yeah, Snowden moved on the screen and looked at the official and said, "Yep, you got me. You're right."
That's how you know it was a good call by the officiating crew. Because usually nowadays every call is an argument of some sort.
And a lot of times it's not the screener's fault. It's the guy coming off the screen not getting close enough. But Snowden moved that time. They caught him.
1-point ball game, 5.5 in. And we see Tyshawn Miles with a touch coming off the bench. He started 3 of the last 5 games for Drexel this season. Demir, they like him a lot, a sophomore transfer.
Well, he's only a sophomore, as you said. He's going to be really good at a Central Wyoming college. He went to junior college for basketball reasons, not academic reasons. So he's got 3 years left with the Dragons.
And there's Wilson, one of the lesser talked about freshmen because he got 2 all-conference guys in Lewis and Banks. But Wilson, in his first year, made quite the contribution for James Madison. Another whistle.
Jermaine Isabel would be a nightmare to guard because he's so quick. He's got a great first step, and he has unconventional moves. Like I said, he's very acrobatic.
Fouls piling up a bit. 4 fouls for each squad, only 6 minutes in.
And there's time we're both going to have bad necks because the only scoreboard is straight up over our heads, and you got to crane your neck back to see it.
CA tournament, maybe they'll provide halftime massages for everybody. Shot
nice.
blocked there.
Great block.
Banks brings it down. McLean, double clutch. Can't get the transition bucket to go. It'll go to Drexel. And there's Joey McLean, who missed his shot there. And it was his injury that really was a blessing in disguise for James Madison, because Matt Lewis came on and developed as the point guard with McLean out.
He was the point guard with the leg, and then the leg injury put him out, put Matt Lewis in a situation. He's not 100%, but he's fighting through it now with both of them on the court. Same time, he got 2 point guards. Always an asset.
1 point lead for James Madison. Demir stripped. Anthony Franklin saw the call from the sideline in front of James Madison bench as the official underneath John Wall was blocked out.
We talked about James Madison going under screens and got burned with jumpers. That time they blitzed the screen, and Demir got the ball and had a chance to do something, but the defense just slapped it out of his hand. Yeah, Demir's going to be special, only a sophomore. He's really good out of Ankara, Turkey, originally.
Mojica, the veteran, saw him go to the bench. Lee, he came in for Mojica, misses, but Miles is there. Here's Isabel. Can't give him a running start, but what a block by Matt Lewis on the defensive side. We know what he can do with the ball in his hands. How about that block shot by the freshman?
6'5" defender against a 6'1", very good guard. 6'5" wins.
That is a tough task to block the shot of the league's second leading scorer. Lee on the kick out. Demir, window off the mark.
He got numbers.
And now a steal. Lee didn't give up. Kick out Isabel. Lee, who made the steal, can he finish the play? Rattles out. Demir can. And the lead for the Dragons.
You notice how he made that shot? Off the glass. In traffic, banked the ball. There's a guy named Duncan who played at Wake Forest and played in the NBA for a while. He did it pretty well.
We'd be proud of that effort by Alihan Demir.
6'9" and pretty mobile too.
Banks right to the cup.
All right, now we got a basketball game. The nerves are over. Everybody's sweating a little bit. Here we go.
An 11-10 lead for James Madison.
There's the double team on the nice pass. He didn't catch it.
Miles got to catch that one. Another turnover. Lewis downtown.
That's what you call a rhythm three. Yes, it was deep, but in rhythm. And he's got a big smile on his face, and he earned it. Back to the man-to-man.
Lewis has made 43% of his threes over the last 5 games coming in and stays hot here in Charleston. Demir, they've been going to him. Left his feet to pass. Can't do that.
He had the initial shot, and he hesitated.
McLean working hard. Miles with the block shot, but James Madison there to finish it up. And a timeout called on the floor as James Madison with the putback up by 4 over Drexel. We got a ball game. A lot of rebounds, both teams with 4 offensive boards already, and 10 points in the paint for James Madison out of their 16 total.
Well, even though the three-point lines change the game of college basketball, you got to play inside out because it opens up everything else.
Overton in the game. He was injured for a lot of this season. 23 games he missed. Here's Isabel, rattled out. And the drought continues for Drexel. They've made 1 of their last 8.
Both times out of a timeout when it's been Drexel's ball, JMU's been in a 2-3 zone.
Jones has the mismatch with Harper. A 7-0 run for James Madison.
The horns, actually. Everybody in the country runs that play.
Reach and foul. That's the 5th on Drexel.
It was a good move by Jones. He dribbled it really low to stop people from reaching, but they just got in there and fouled him. But for a big guy to dribble it that low, that's an asset.
We mentioned Jones, Wilson, talked about Banks. Lewis has made a three. All freshmen for this team.
True.
A lot of youth on Lou Rowe's squad.
Froshmore's, remember.
Froshmore, at this point in March, they're half and half.
But the greatest thing about them is next year they will be sophomores.
That's right. McLean hanging. Not enough.
So I'm saying you got to go strong around here.
A little sloppy play early.
Got to grab the handle first. That's Harper Jr., transfer out of Campbell. Couldn't grab the handle.
Nearly a steal for Isabel. 5 turnovers for Drexel, 3 for James Madison. Almost halfway through this first half. A little bit of jitters getting started in this opening round matchup.
There's your double team. Somebody's open. There he is. One more pass. You got a jumper.
Lewis has 6 seconds.
Great recovery by Drexel.
3 seconds. Lewis off the rim.
Let me tell you something, Scott. That bad shot was because of great defense by Drexel. They were beat, they recovered, and they forced the freshman Lewis to put up a bad shot at the end of the clock, but he had to. That's really good defense by the guys in the white shirts.
Really solid defense by the Dragons. They've got to figure it out on the other end, though, with the basketball in their hands. They have not scored in 3 minutes. Lee inside. Extra pass, Overton. It was online, just not enough. Out of bounds.
They made the extra pass, but Overton really wasn't ready to shoot it. Consequently, it was really short. You got to be ready. It's a great pass right in the pocket.
And he's trying to get himself back into rhythm. Missed 11 games from January 11th to February 22nd, and he's played just 21 minutes since coming back. So he's a redshirt senior transfer from Wake Forest and just trying to get his legs back.
They got to do it again on defense if you're Drexel. They
challenging the league's leader in blocked shots, 81 on the season for Austin Williams, and a block party has broken out here in Charleston. What a foul.
Watch this block and take off the other way. Great transition opportunity. They're a little too close. You got to get wide and give him somebody to pass to. He had nobody to pass to. Great job. And we got the charge of the young man we were just talking about, Troy Harper Jr. Philadelphia kid who went down to college at Campbell in the Big South and then transferred back.
That's a great story with Troy Harper. Wasn't recruited from Philly, went to Newman Goretti, big-time Philly program, and came back as a transfer and was nominated for the 6th Man of the Year in the CAA this year. Snowden with the drop-off. Lewis open, he's got one, can't add another. But Jones tracks it down. 5th offensive rebound for the Dukes.
See, here's the advantage. Now you got McLean who can handle it. You got Lewis who can handle it. You got 2 guys that can distribute and handle the basketball. Lewis going back to his spot he played in high school and off the ball.
Phillips put it low. Williams, all CAA defense with the steal.
They've been good against a double team till right then.
Isabel loves that spin, drops it to Williams, +1. With a big man on the inside.
Acrobatic, watch this. There's the spin. There's 4 guys in purple jerseys waiting for him. Find your best friend, Mr. Williams, for an N1, the bump and the bucket.
Tremaine Isabel with the assist, leads the team in that category, 6th in the CAA with 3.5 assists per game. 39% of Drexel's points Isabel has either scored or assisted on this season. That's pretty impressive for one guy.
He's kind of important.
Free throw no good for Austin Williams, the 6'8 senior. But his bucket, the first in a while for the Dragons.
Drexel's done it at this end, last couple possessions. They haven't scored on the offensive end until that last time, but they've done a great job defensively of double teaming, taking the ball away, and just closing off lanes.
You're absolutely right. 7-0 run by James Madison to put them up 16-10. They haven't scored since. It's been 3 minutes. Phillips trying to change that. Working hard inside with the power slam.
Are you kidding me? That's over 6'8 and 6'9. Got the rebound. Yeah, I'll put it back in. No, I won't. I'll slam it back in. That's a big-time play for DeVell Phillips, a junior, out of one place I used to live, Bowie, Maryland.
There you go, Maryland. Phillips has lived a lot of places as well. Went to Clinton Christian High School, then Odessa Community College. Went to DePaul first, then Odessa Community College, and now a member of this James Madison team.
6'9", long arms, and you saw why right there. Not as big and strong as Williams, but out-quicked him to the rim.
On the passive foul. And that'll bring us to another timeout. James Madison and that man, DeVell Phillips, with a lead 18-12. The Dragons trying to get movement on the offensive end. You're watching CAA.TV.
This is it. This is the time of year when everything is on the line. There's no, we'll get him next time.
Lewis is guarding him a little bit bigger, but if he gets going, you know everybody else in the white shirts thinking, when's Tremaine going to get going? I mean, that's just the nature of the beast when you're that good. Zone out of the timeout again. 3-2 zone this time, a different one.
10 to shoot.
Well, Drexel's having trouble recognizing it out of the timeouts.
5 for Isabel. They
pass.
found a hole, and it's Williams. What a pass by Isabel, not panicking as the shot clock wound down, found a hole in that zone.
From 40 feet away, he found a hole. That's a really smart play by the junior.
And Austin Williams has been the recipient of a couple of nifty passes by Isabel.
Remember we said you had to finish strong. They don't lay it up, they're dunking it.
And there's Williams on the other end with a rebound. Isabel wants to push.
I like the way he directs traffic, tells people where he wants them to go. They're double teaming him off every ball screen. There it is again, but he's reacted well to it. Trying to take the ball out of his hands, it's a good plan. All right, he'll just go one-on-one.
But can't finish again. 1 of 6 for Isabel. He's gotten some good looks. And if you're James Madison, you got to build this lead while Isabel is cold.
Absolutely.
There's Lou Rowe, former All-CAA, All-Tournament team selection in 1995.
Williams a little upset with that call. I don't blame him. The ball's up in the air. Watch, you'll see the rebound after this from the weak side.
Working the ball around.
Here comes the rebound. And they said he went over the back. I mean, there's just 6 hands going up for the ball. I know that's the new rule, but I don't like it. Kid's just trying to make a play. He didn't knock anybody out of bounds.
Austin Williams will agree with you, that's for sure.
He's got to sit because of it.
Demir open, the big man showing his range but not connecting. Miles, his second offensive rebound. And that's offensive. 9 fouls against Drexel.
I like the aggressiveness of Miles after he got the offensive rebound, but he just lost his balance. You know, everybody talks about a lot of things. They don't talk about footwork and balance. Big guys got to keep their balance. He lost control. He knocked over the defender.
Miles in because Williams picked up that second foul. Lee's playing with 2 for Drexel. Banks has been quiet.
You lose 6'8", 245. You get 6'9", 250 in his place.
A lot of contact on that dribble drive, and Drexel gets the offensive charge right back.
Well, Tyshawn Miles just made up for the faux pas at the other end. He saw the guy coming into him. He's 250 pounds, and he took the blow and drew the charge. He got the ball back for his team. Heads up play by 55 in white.
Miles only plays about 11 minutes per game, but Austin Williams has dealt with some injuries towards the end of this year. Miles has started 3 of the last 4, not tonight, but getting some minutes early.
Well, because of fouls, he might play more.
Isabel still cold. He's gotten some good looks close, but 1 of 7 today. Banks with the highlight.
Freshman Banks.
No layups today. They are bringing the power to the rim. Nearly a steal, ball loose. These teams want it right now.
Banks got a little too excited on the dunk. Watch this. You want to see athleticism for a freshman? That's impressive.
That's Darius Banks, freshman all-rookie team. 2 on the all-rookie team for James Madison for the first time since 2009. Devon Moore and Julius Wells did it for JMU back in 2009. Moore went on to win a championship for James Madison in the CAA tournament, so that's a good sign for this Duke's young basketball team.
It's the young man you talked about his injuries. Miles fought him all year, but he's the spark on this basketball team. Coming off the bench, or when he starts, of course, sometimes he had to start, but you can see the athleticism, just the sheer size of him. He's 6'8", 250 out of the Bronx.
Biggest guy on the team in terms of weight.
Best high school name I've ever heard. Went to Washington Heights Expeditionary Learning School. That's cool. I mean, that's hard for cheerleaders, but that's cool.
Think they got all that on the jersey, or
there's no way.
Some type of abbreviation. Miles only a 65% free throw shooter, stepping up and getting his team within 4. James Madison up 20-16.
This is the end. It's gotten Drexel back in this thing. That's really good defense again. They have really done well shutting them down in the half court a little bit. Now they got to finish at this end.
Lee with the basketball. Mojica, deadly three-point shooter. He might get 4.
You know in the scouting report it says Sammy Mojica can make threes, run him off the line. Do not do this and pop him for a chance for a 4-point play.
Sammy Mojica, one of the all-time leading three-point shooters in Drexel history, 10th on the Dragons' all-time chart. And he can tie the score with 1 possession.
Most of the time he comes off staggered screens because he is such a good shooter, but he was spotting up there and drilled it. Tie game.
Score is 20-20.
Not a lot of points for 15 minutes, but either team will take the tie. Well, JMU won't because they were ahead, but Drexel will take the tie.
Both, it's a game of runs, and certainly as you start the CAA tournament, both teams are going to make their run. A 6-0 run now for Drexel, thanks to 4 for Sammy Mojica. James Madison had a 7-0 run earlier, and Wilson took some extra steps.
Last 5 minutes is going to give some momentum to somebody going in the locker room. They'll feel better about themselves. If this team goes ahead, that man won't go off at halftime, so they'll be happy. But these last 5 minutes are big for momentum. No way will determine the game, but big for momentum.
2 young coaches coaching today. Zach Spiker in his 2nd season, as is Lou Rowe. Love the energy from Zach Spiker.
Oh, unbelievable. If you look up A-type personality, if you Google it, it'll be Coach Spiker's picture. Here's the zone again. It's bothered Drexel. I like this move by JMU.
Isabel with only 4 points, averages 21 a game.
Just don't let Isabel have it at the end of the clock because he's going to find the open player.
There's an open player, Mojica, again.
You're playing a zone, you got to know where Sammy Mojica is. He just burned you from either wing for threes.
Drexel's largest lead, a 9-0 run. Mosley. McLean has been aggressive, and he draws contact. It's his 3rd take inside the paint today.
Well, Miles did go straight up, but if we get to see it again, right at the end, he leaned forward. Watch 55 in white. See the way he leans forward at the end? That's the foul. You're allowed to go straight up even though you're in the restricted area with the new rule this year. And you have your plane of verticality, but he leaned into the ball, and that's a good call.
He also has 100 pounds on Joey McLean, which helped send the senior point guard flying.
And about a foot, maybe more than a foot.
McLean, the senior, out of Greensboro, North Carolina, 8 points per game, got hurt, had to come out of the lineup. Matt Lewis took his spot, and now McLean comes off the bench in his final campaign, but makes 2 free throws there.
And happy for him that he did come back from those injuries. The worst thing is as a senior, you get hurt and you can't finish your season.
Missed 6 games during conference play. Ends a 9-0 run with the free throws for Drexel.
Zone again. I like it, getting the ball to Isabel in the middle of the zone because he's so creative.
Overton will give it a try. Offensive board after a long miss.
Smart play. Don't take a crazy shot. Run the clock. Get a good one.
Just a 19 three-point attempt on the season for Miles Overton, son of former NBAer Doug. He's stripped. Ball loose. Lewis comes up with it. Mosley ahead of the pack to the rim. Layup off the mark, but a foul. Action picking up a bit here in North Charleston as Stuckey Mosley got ahead. The outlet pass and will shoot two when we return. Drexel on top with 3:26 to go in the first half on CAA.TV. Member of Lou Rowe's squad.
Nobody's up to their averages, but we got a second half to play. Mosley averages almost 19 a game. He's got 3 going for 4.
And Mohica had 22 points against the Dragons on February 1st. Both of these coaches hoping that their main players, Mosley, Lewis, Isabel, find their season averages in the second half. But still 3:18 left to go to find it here.
Drexel's going to talk about attacking his own because they've faced it a lot, and I'm sure they're going to face it a lot more. That's a great shot, but that's not the way you want to attack it all the time. You can't live by that 3 and settle for it. That was a really good shot by Harper.
And James Madison will allow him to do that. Only 15% of his threes went in during the year for Harper.
Well, when we talked to the Drexel coaches, they said Harper's not our 3-point threat.
To say the least. Lewis is for James Madison, but he misses there.
Great book I read in college, How to Lie with Statistics.
Overton, his percentage on the season under 30% as well, and he misses.
You got no time and score with 2.5 to play. That's not a good shot.
Wilson drawing the foul on the newly inserted Tadas Kararinas, and the freshman from Lithuania picks up his first.
He was drilling threes in practice shoot around this morning. He made a ton of them. They were giving him grief because when the big guys that would miss would have to run sprints, and he would never win. Finally, they said, "What's wrong with you?" And he blew by everybody. That's called coaching.
Kararinas, only 7.5 minutes per game, but he's played every single game this season. Only he, Lee, and Mohica able to do that for Drexel.
Big body, put a 6'10" kid in there and make a difference. All right, they made a bucket. Probably, yep, here's the zone. 2-3 this time. I like one time they put Isabel at the foul line because he's such a distributor. Just get him the rock in the middle and make a decision.
Isabel, he's in range as soon as he steps in the gym, so you got to extend that zone on him.
Which opens up the middle behind him.
Same for Mohica. Baseline.
Got a piece of that one, I think. Twice.
He'll stay with Drexel. I think you're right.
This is an interesting situation. You see what coaches like to do. Some guys like to throw it in bounds. Some guys like to get a quick score out of it. See what Coach Spiker goes with here.
5 on the shot clock.
You know you're going to face man.
Mohica. And that's an offensive foul, his second against the Dragons today.
Lost his balance. I'm telling you, balance is so important. He comes to a jump stop. He got Overton for a wide open 16-footer. He just bowled over the defender. Good job by the defense. Bad move by Sammy Mohica.
It's a turnover for Mohica and his first personal.
Uncle Mo doesn't know which locker room to go into. We got a 1-point game here going into the half.
2 minutes to see if one team can take control heading into the break. Mosley, long range, long miss.
And nobody in a purple shirt in the lane. Nobody, all white jerseys.
Mosley made 84 of those on the year.
When he drives, everybody and their brothers around him speaking about Tremaine Isabel. It's good D. Close off the driving lane, especially the straight line drive.
Madison has not made a field goal in 4.5 minutes, and that'll end that drought.
That's freshman point guard finding senior, used to be point guard for 3. It's a heck of a play.
Joey McClain, a bit of a spark off the bench. He's got 5 points in the lead for James Madison. Will continue, at least momentarily. Another offensive board. Harper, Overton. Numbers for the Dukes. Touch pass. Can't finish, though. And a foul's going to be called as Wilson, frustrated, a little aggressive, trying to get a couple of his misses.
That was great ball movement. They just couldn't finish it at the rim.
Both teams have been in the bonus for a while, so the foul on Wilson will send Arenas to the free throw line. He's only shot 6 free throws on the year.
Great finish, just kind of finger roll it again. And then, you're right, a little frustration. Arenas is back. Kid's a great shooter. Watch this form.
Beautiful rotation on the shot. Went to Finlay Prep, big-time basketball program out of Nevada.
It's funny. Euro players, they're great free throw shooters because they practice it. Steve Kerr had the best line I ever heard. You got to learn to love the boredom of practice to be a good free throw shooter. You do. It's just repetition.
Well, if Steve Kerr said it, then I'm sure it makes sense because he's doing a heck of a job as a coach and was a heck of a player in his career. Under a minute we go. Tie score, 28 all.
If the Dragons can pull out one more stop, they just did.
That's a blocking foul.
Ooh, I don't like that call. I'd like to see that again. He smacked his head on the floor, too.
Yeah, Harper's slow to get up.
Remember, the new rules, you don't have to be stationary. You have to be in a legal guarding position. See if Troy Harper Jr. 3 and white was. I think he was. It's a tough call. Of course, we get the benefit of slow-mo.
Harper's in front of us right now, pleading his case for the offensive foul.
That man agrees with me.
Matt Lewis missed his first 3 free throws. Makes that one.
That's because you jinxed him.
That's right, I did. Early on, I was bragging about his high percentage on the year.
People really believe we have something to do with the fact whether they make a shot. They really believe that.
If only.
Yeah, exactly.
Matt Lewis makes them both. Points to the sky as he does.
I go to Vegas and talk about every free throw shooter and make $1 million.
Lead for James Madison's gone back and forth. 4 ties, 8 lead changes in the first half, and the shot clock unplugged for Drexel.
This is the 3rd zone of the day. This is a 1-3-1. I love the way Jamie's turned 3 different zones at him, give him 3 things to talk about at halftime. What a pass.
Inside, Arenas, he's fouled, and he'll go back to the free throw line with a chance to tie this score at the half if he can make a pair.
Good move. He tried to use the rim as a screen because he knew he had shot blockers underneath there. Got hacked and said, Taras. Arenas.
6'10", tallest player on the team.
I've been practicing that name for a couple
We were
days.
hoping he would get a couple minutes today.
Yes, I would. Taras is a cool first name. It's probably Teddy in Lithuanian, but hadn't hit the rim yet.
Heck of a free throw shooter. Didn't get there much during the year. 5 of 6 coming in, but he's made 3. See Overton checking in. A couple of guys with foul trouble. Lee is one of them, so he'll go to the bench. Don't want to pick up a foul with 5 seconds remaining.
Can't coach 6'10". You get the 6'10" kids and hope to develop them.
6'10", 210 pounds for Tadas. I like it too, Nick.
He'll be eating some Philly cheesesteaks. He'll get that 210 up.
Tie score. Coach Rowe can't take the timeout into the locker room, so he'll call timeout now, draw something up for James Madison to see if they can't get the lead. 30-30 is all the way down the floor.
Yeah, McLean is going to get a little quicker maybe.
McLean, your first man on the screen. He's got 3 seconds. Corner, Lewis, 1 second for the lead at the half. Banked it in, and the foul, unbelievable.
They practice it every day, I'm sure. Joy McLean got it going towards his basket, which is a huge advantage. And then Lewis with the 1 dribble to create some space. They're going to make sure it was good according to the clock, but I believe it was. But he got a 1 dribble to create some space and threw it high off the glass.
Oh, I think that went in. We'll take a look.
Watch when this hits
it's in the air as the light comes on, so no doubt about that. Matt Lewis, the first spectacular play of many to come in this CAA tournament.
Well, Uncle Mo is definitely going to JMU's locker room. Watch this. There's the dribble. Watch where it hits on the backboard, way above the square. Bingo. And, as you correctly stated, he's going to get a free throw. And if there's no time left, they don't put time left, it'll be like a technical. There'll be nobody on the line. If they put time left, there'll be people on the line.
We had already seen 1 4-point play in this first half. A rarity to have 1 for each side.
I think they're going to put .5 on the clock. Yeah, they are.
0.5. And really all that means is Matt Lewis will have some friends to join him at the free throw line. Not much Drexel can do.
Which is a more comfortable situation. I mean, I don't like that when you pull guys off the line because you never practice that way. There's always people standing on the foul line. Well, the Froshmore finished the half with a little pizzazz.
That was unreal for Matt Lewis. And now has a chance to get into double figures. He'll be the first to do so, but misses the free throw. 0.5 comes off, and James Madison, thanks to the buzzer beater by Matt Lewis with a 33.
Good. The first couple minutes are going to be really important as a player, as a coach. You just want consistency. Keep calling it the way you were calling it. Don't change in the second half, because referees talk at halftime as well. What a pass.
Snowden was fouled, muscled up. How about Ramon Snowden? 230 pounds. He used all of it to get that shot up and through.
Finished with authority, and then another foul inside against Williams for Drexel. Not a good thing.
And they gave the foul to Mojica. As we looked at it, it looked like Williams was there, but you're absolutely right. If that would have gone against Williams, that would have been his third.
That's good for Drexel then.
3-point play to start the second half. Mojica was hot in the first half, stays hot to begin the second.
Well, Snowden, they're in the zone, but Snowden's got to know where 15 is. You got to know where Mojica is. You got to shade his way, because when the ball goes away, it's coming back to the three-point shooter.
Now a steal. Drexel on the run. Isabel, that's offensive. And Nate, you can see some frustration starting to build for Tremaine Isabel, who only has 4 points on 1 of 8 in the foul there.
You want your players to get better every minute. You want them to get better every game. Snowden blew it on defense the last time. He just made a great play to draw the charge on Isabel right there. That's a heads-up play. No moping at all.
And Isabel starting to begin the second half. Did not start to begin the game. Just missed a team bus. And did not come out on the floor with the rest of his teammates. Matt Lewis picking up where he left off, another three.
Well, Kirkley's 5'9", and if he gets up in Matt Lewis's face, it's like he's not even there. Matt Lewis at 6'5", and he drilled one. He faked it 9 times, and he shot it.
Demir. Good footwork by the sophomore.
That's great footwork. Couple fakes, and then the left hand. Nice play.
Lewis tried to squeeze one in there. Did have the angle, and the 7th turnover for James Madison.
They love Demir. They think he's going to be a special basketball player. You never know what a tournament situation does. It might bring out the best in a young man that's played well this season, but he might go off this half.
Demir had 16 against UNCW to end the season for Drexel.
It is March. I remember that.
Anything can happen. 11 to shoot, now 10. Isabel. He needs to get going for Drexel. 6 seconds. Mojica with the shot clock winding down. Lewis got a piece. Banks. Euro. Can't finish on the play. Williams was there to alter it.
Well, the one thing that JMU has not changed is every time Tremaine Isabel comes off the screen, they double him. So he's got to get rid of the ball. They're doubling him again, which is a smart move. Take the ball out of the best player's hands.
Demir. Lee, too small inside, nearly lost it. Now he does. Ahead of the pack. Mosley. Tracks it down to Lee. Gets it back. Mosley finishes the play.
You reward effort by giving him the rock. That ball was out of bounds in the JMU band, and he made a heck of a save.
What a start to this second half for James Madison. Isabel continues to struggle.
He's got to get fouled and go to the line and watch it go through the rim one time, just to get his confidence up a little bit.
He's 1 of 9. Here's Lewis. Tough angle. Phillips went for it all. Little whistle.
Devell Phillips has shown us some athleticism today. Only 2'10", 6'9". That man's got to make some adjustments. There's over the top. I guess they called Phillips with the foul. I thought he got fouled. That's interesting.
Phillips went over the back, but you got to love the effort of Phillips. 6 points, 3 of 3 from the field. And Phillips, you mentioned, could be the wild card for this James Madison team. When he plays well, so does this team. And say the same about Mojica, to the rim. And he'll go to the free throw line. That's something that you'd like to see. You mentioned moments ago for Isabel to do.
I really think getting fouled, he's a good free throw shooter, but you just got to see it go through the net for your confidence, because right now he's thinking, I can't buy one. You got to forget that thought, take it to the rim. He can get to the rim because we talked about in the first half, his quickness, his first step quicks, his first step through the dribble. See how he's talking to the official right in front of us like, come on, man, I'm getting bumped here.
Mojica at the strike. 6 straight games in double figures for the senior from Brimmer and May School in Massachusetts.
Isabel's having a conversation with Anthony Franklin. Not complaining, just talking. And Anthony Franklin's a good one to talk to because he'll talk with you. He won't say, don't talk to me like some officials. Anthony Franklin's been doing this a long time.
No Joel Berry treatment?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
No. That's Ted Valentine, who happens to live here in Charleston, by the way.
Joel Berry's got a pretty big game tonight.
Yeah, just a little bit.
UNC Duke later on. Big games here in Charleston, though. James Madison and Drexel getting us started. Delaware Elon, the next game in the 7-10 spot. 8 to shoot for James Madison, a 7-point lead. Mosley with 3 seconds. 2 for the lefty. Floats it, gets the shooter's touch.
He did a good job of working off Phillips' screen one way and then reversed it the other way just to give him enough opening to get the shot off. This zone has bothered Drexel in the first half.
Lee's been quiet. The lefty uses the right hand, misses, pokes it away. And now Lewis on the run. And another dunk for DeVell Phillips. A timeout taken by Zach Spiker as James Madison builds the first double-digit lead of the evening. 46-36. Duke's on top. We'll take a break on dunks just like that. Drexel's going to have to find an answer.
Jamie man-to-man for the first time in a while. This is the chance for that man, number 2, Isabel, to do something with the ball. And they went into a zone after the first pass. You know how hard that is to do? Change within the possession.
10 to shoot for Demir. Mojica with 6, loses it.
That's a tough pass. Too many purple jerseys to throw that into the lane. Demir, he didn't really have post position.
Inside, Wilson. That was a good-looking pass.
All right, Drexel got a break. Threw it away, missed a layup by JMU. Now you got to take care of the basketball.
Isabel needed that one.
Look, a relief on his face. I'm telling you, it only takes one, and you believe you can make everything.
Another whistle.
Those are the reason. Those fouls are the reason I don't have any hair. 75 feet from the basket, and your 6'9" guy, Demir, bumps somebody. It's just foolish. And you're in foul trouble as a team.
Isabel's shot puts him perhaps back in rhythm. His team, though, trails 46-38. We'll take.
He's got to be ready for anything. They've played about 3 different zones. They've played man. They're probably going to try to stop him by doing something else. I like a little pressure by Drexel here. But he's got to be ready for everything and attack it. And don't hesitate. The zone, Drexel hesitated against in the first half, and it kind of knocked him out of sync, as Coach Spiker said at halftime. It knocked him out of their rhythm a little bit.
Isabel can get going in a hurry. And 40 against Elon earlier in the season, the transfer from Missouri. James Madison up 46-38. And there's a steal for Isabel.
Right to the rim. Right to the rim.
Misses on the layup, almost carried the basketball.
Kind of lost it, yeah. They just took the ball away. Drexel's had a good job defensively playing man here.
Foul against the Drexel Dragons.
You can see the frustration. We're looking at Isabel. He just took a deep breath like, what is going on here? Remember, his last 4 games, 28 a game, and he's averaging over 20 a game for the season. Long way to go.
Lots of basketball left, but so far the second half has belonged to James Madison at a 3-point lead heading into the locker room.
The mentality's got to be stop, score, stop for Drexel here. String those together.
Lewis
Tough
with
shot.
Lee all over him, forced that.
He knows he's bigger than Lee, but that wasn't a good shot. There's the double. Every time he comes off a screen, he's doubled.
James Madison held Isabel to 8 points earlier this season on 4 of 9 shooting. It was his only game under 10 points in CAA play. And there's Austin Williams.
That's big-time offensive rebound. And under control, didn't bring it down, put it right back up. I like the press here. Their defense has been good, extend it. Tremaine Isabel's got to do that thing. Mark Price was the greatest on the planet of it at Georgia Tech. Split the double team. You know you're getting double teamed. He's a good ball handler. Split it and take it to the rim. You beat 2 guys as soon as you split it. He knows he's getting doubled every time.
10 to shoot for James Madison. Banks all the way in, too strong. Tips it to himself. Second try goes through for the rookie.
Stick-to-itiveness is a great asset in a basketball player. You just saw it. There he goes.
And Isabel got started before James Madison could set up that double-team defense.
You get them in a scramble situation where their transition defense is big. They're getting back, but they're really, Coach Spiker even said it, our transition defense has to be better. Excuse me. Coach Spiker said it, but we're talking about the other team. This is what he's got to do. He's got to see it go through the rim.
Isabel 2 of 2 from the free throw line today. 76% on the season. Averaged 21.1 points per game. And really, it was that final month of the season that you talked about that got him up over that 20-point mark. He exploded and ended up second team All-CAA.
We might see a little pressure here if he makes this one. They've been pressing after buckets. It's a perfect time to press.
Isabel looking good.
Here it comes.
And there's that pressure.
A lot of times it gets you jacked up to play better offensively when you're getting after it like that defensively.
There's a steal. James Madison nearly steals it right back. Lee has it. Mojica back to Lee. Isabel will settle. Mojica. That would have been huge for the Dragons, but Williams with a strip. Lee, kick out. Isabel. This one would be big, but another miss.
He got smacked in the face initially, too, in that. He's upset.
A foul on the inside, and Lee.
He's mad at one person himself. He knows he's better than this.
And that's huge. You could see, or we could see, at least on the screen, Troy Harper trying to say, that was me, that was me. But it is the 4th foul on Kirk Lee, and now your second leading scorer on the season is going to have to sit for a while.
Well, Harper's got to be the man now and attack the basket. He's a very good, big, strong kid to attack the basket and try to finish. He made 1 3, but that's not his forte.
6-point advantage for the Dukes. They've led by as many as 10.
They'll really be tough at this end, as they have been.
Darius Banks all the way to the rim, but the league's leader in block shots gets another one. Austin Williams. Harper. That's an air ball.
That's not his game. Fake it. You made 1, which means the other team knows it. Fake it and drive the ball.
Troy Harper. Mosley misses on a 3, and the tip by Banks goes through. A whistle after the bucket. Things getting a bit chippy, and the young man from St. Petersburg, Florida, Darius Banks, with a bucket there, is getting talking to from one of the officials. Here's Williams' block on one end.
Great block right there. Good job by Anthony Franklin. Talk to the young man. Don't tee him up. Talk to him.
Banks, though, with some muscle in his team. Back up by 8. We'll take a break on CAA.TV.
Because make these kids believe, guys, look what we did before. 8's a joke. No problem. We can't stop playing defense, but we can get back. I like the movement here. This is good.
But they pressed, they got turnovers, and they hit shots in that game. Drexel shooting just 30% in this one. James Madison has defended it well. And it'll be Duke's basketball.
Missed the shot, but they took it to the rim. They got to get to the rim. They're only shooting 28% in the second half, but they're 3 or 4 from the line, so get to the foul line.
You see some full court pressure.
That's a big press with the mirror at the front of it. It's 6'9". Take away vision and take away the ball.
There's the steal. Harper was tripped by Matt Lewis. Lewis didn't agree with the call.
Troy Harper, as we said, from Philadelphia, went to Campbell University. They got a kid named Chris Clemens down there that's led the nation in scoring a couple of years. So Troy Harper figured, let me go somewhere else. He's back home in Philly. That was the end of the play when he got tripped before that. No shots yet, but they took the ball away and they get it back. So he's back home, and I'm sure he's happy being back.
He's got to love it.
Playing for the
Newman,
Dragons.
Playing for Newman Goretti High School, and it's a big-time program there in Philadelphia, and playing well. Came off the bench as a redshirt junior and finished third in voting for the CAA Sixth Man of the Year. Bolden Brace, congratulations to him. He won Sixth Man of the Year. Justin Gorham finished second.
Excuse me, they're looking at something to see this as a flagrant. I didn't see the foul. I mean, he fell down, so the reason he fell. That's got to be what they're looking at, because it's not a shot clock situation.
It was hard to find a foul in that play, let alone a flagrant variety. But that's what they're looking at. And if you're Zach Spiker right now, we'll get a chance to take another look here.
Here's the steal. Lewis threw his leg out a little bit, but that's nothing, and they saw it's nothing. We're going to play on.
Certainly nothing flagrant about that.
The flagrant one's got to be something that's deemed excessive in nature and or unnecessary, not based on the severity of the act. There was none of that. And trust me, I didn't memorize that. I wrote it down. I'm not smart.
I wasn't going to tell your secret.
I'm not smart enough to memorize it.
9 minutes into the second half. Isabel.
Double again. He'll find the open player. What a pass.
Look off dunk. Williams.
He drove around the double team and found the big man Williams for the two, and here comes the press again. 8-point deficit, no big deal.
They've yet to give Isabel the assist in the book, but unofficially, that's his fifth assist of the game.
You got to give him that.
I was waiting for it. And how about Williams? Quietly, 10 points, 5 of 5 from the field.
And let's give him credit. He's not scoring, but he's contributing to his team. Great defense without fouling.
Push off on the rebound.
Austin Williams, straight up in the air, changed the shot. Watch this. Watch 5 in white. Well, this is a great pass. He's looking at everybody but the guy he's throwing it to. And there's Austin Williams with the finish. As we said, he's not scoring, talking about Isabel, but he's contributing to his team with assists. That's a lot of maturity right there.
Williams in double figures, averages 9 points, 8 rebounds per game.
And now Troy Harper's got to be the point guard to keep Tremaine Isabel off the ball. There's the double again. He's going to go right by it again. Oh, what a fake.
Spins a few times. Williams an offensive rebound. Isabel's working hard for the Drexel Dragons. Demir starts his post up at the three-point arc.
That's Harper's ball game. That's what he does.
Ball game, Nate.
That's what he does. That's what he's got to continue to do. I'm sure he's reminded. The great late Skip Prost used to call it aggressive counseling in the huddle. Tell him, look, son, there's a reason you're open on threes. This is what you do. This is why we gave you a scholarship. Drive the rock. He did. He got bumped. Chance for an N1.
And he gets to the free throw line so much. He's fired up. 40% of Troy Harper's points on the season comes from that very spot, the free throw line. He's made 95 free throws on the season, but misses there.
He's fired up on defense. Look at the look on his face. He wants to take it away from McLean. That's the look you want to see on defense. You'll love that as a coach.
Go under 10 minutes, second half of basketball. Banks draws contact.
That's on Williams, I believe.
And if it's on Williams, that's his third. A little slow to get up.
There's the drive right there. You can see he got by his first defender, Tremaine Isabel. When you get your head and shoulders past the defender, you win. And then Williams had to come over and help. Got there a little late.
Banks a bit of a mismatch at that guard spot, 6'5", 225. Yep. Got a good frame on him, the freshman from St. Petersburg Florida, 38 points in his final 2 games of the season. He had a career-high 20 against Delaware.
They got some good-looking young kids on this basketball team.
In that game against Delaware, 60 of their 66 points came from freshman players.
Buy your season tickets at JMU. They're going to be good in the future. One thing they can do when Isabel's got the ball is slip the screen. Then there won't be a double team there. Oh, that's a great fake. That's just like slipping it. He just took it.
Drexel's had some problems finishing at the rim today. Mosley. Good look. Better rebound, but again, no points for either team inside the paint on back-to-back possession.
That's good transition D to get in his face.
Isabel.
Big shot for that young man.
Saw him with the fist pump, and that means I'm getting going. He's got 11 now, double figures for the 27th time this season.
A little sense of relief in his mind. And a block. Save it. Here we go.
Mojica with the block. The man that usually gets the blocks. Williams with the save. Isabel.
He's really alert with his eyes about who to throw it to. He's probably been double teamed a lot this year.
3-point game. James Madison led by as many as 10. Solid defense that time by Wilson.
And Demir brought it down. He kept it up over his shoulders. He could have laid it right back in.
Young man from Tallahassee, a freshman, 6'7", stayed straight up.
Very tough to do when you don't score to play tough D, but Drexel's got to do it, and that man can erase him.
Another block shot for Austin Williams. His third. And Isabel with the miss. Lot of contact inside. Demir will shoot 2 when we return. 52-49. James Madison on top by 3. These two teams have played twice already this season. Both of those games decided by 2 points. This one looking like it's going to come down to the wire as well on CAA.TV. Double-double, 10 points, 9 rebounds. His front court mate, Alihan Demir, at the free throw line.
Second one goes in. I would think we'll see a press again. They've been good at it by just messing up JMU's rhythm and taking the ball away a couple times. I love the look on their faces when they play defense.
Demir is 77% free throw shooter, second best on the team, makes 2. He'll take a seat. Kirk Lee coming in, and the team's second leading scorer on the season will play with 4 fouls.
Well, in this situation, it's who you want to finish with, not who you want to play now. So they maybe give up lead because Troy Harper's played really well so far. Now they're both on the floor together, along with Isabel. That's an interesting trio. Makes them smaller, but it makes them quicker.
JMU, their last 5 from the field. Darius Banks, there's the man we were just talking about. Austin Williams, his 4th block, and he passes Frank Elegar into 6th all-time on the Drexel charts.
Well, that's the next move for Darius Banks. When you see 5 in white coming over to block it, find the man who he just left right there. You can see the trailer coming in, but he didn't. Tough shot.
And a miss for James Madison with the shot clock winding down. Drexel a chance to regain the lead.
Coach Spiker calling a set for the first time in a while. There's the double team. He went around it. I'm telling you, if he splits it one time, he's got a layup. But he's quick enough to go around it. He's going to go to the line. Every time he's come off a screen, he's had 2 purple jerseys in his face the entire game.
James Madison has scouted Isabel well this season. 8 points earlier in the year against the Dukes, so they've done a good job. And tonight they frustrated him, but now he's finding a way to get himself going. 11 points. He's missed 12 shots, 3 of 15 from the field, but 4 of 4 from the free throw line, and a front end make there.
Question is, if you're Coach Rowe, do you switch it up to give him a different look? That's a tough call. I used to be the assistant coach. I was the suggester. I was not the determiner. The guy in the seat next to me was the determiner. He gets the big bucks for a reason. But I just saw a couple of assistants walking up and talking to him. Whether they were talking about that, I don't know. But it might be one possession, maybe even a zone, just to give him something different to look at. Because he's getting a rhythm.
We're tied at 52. Byron Taylor, Rob Summers, Tim Johnson, the three suggesters on Lou Rowe's staff. 7 minutes.
No free throw conversion, no press.
Banks was left open momentarily, drives in close, wild shot, gets it back, second effort, no. Another freshman, Jacobs, and there's a lid on the rim right now.
I'm telling you, that's all because of Williams inside. If he's not blocking, he's changing shots. They got to secure a rebound.
James Madison's missed their last 9, make it 10.
How many were they down? 150 in that one game?
Oh, it felt like it. For the Delaware Blue Hens, that's for sure. 34-point come-from-behind win earlier this season for Drexel. They were down by 10, and score remains tied at 52.
Harper thinks he got fouled, but that's not your game. Drive the ball to the bucket. If they double you, you got people to throw to.
An offensive foul. Things slipping away right now for James Madison. The score tied at 52, but JMU, with that turnover, has not scored in 3.5 minutes.
I think he just teed up Coach Rowe. He warned him. No, he didn't tee him up. He warned him.
Coach Rowe smiling it off.
John Wall just gave him a warning.
Lou Rowe under lefty Drexel was 1994 second team All-CAA. His team won the championship.
Well, did we expect anything less? Every time they played, it's been a 2-point game. Look at him keep his dribble. Don't pick your dribble up. Smart move.
Harper had to look like a wide receiver for that one. Lee gets past his man. Kick out. Isabel. And a whistle on the inside. Offensive foul.
They were a little out of sorts there, throwing cross-court passes that were saved by Harper. That's when you got to have somebody like Isabel just take the ball and calm down, guys. We got a lot of time left. Let's make a good play.
Both of these teams, lots of newcomers. Somebody on both of these teams as a player has to take control of this game with the score tied at 52 and a game tomorrow on the line. Malik almost got a steal.
And for JMU, you got a freshman in Matt Lewis who doesn't go to get the ball against pressure. It's interesting. He stays around half court. McLean's in there. That's probably one reason. McLean's a little quicker.
Lewis not in your screen.
He's standing next to us at half court. Well, there's the man that's quick to handle the rock, McLean.
McLean, the veteran, lost his starting spot to Matt Lewis, who you mentioned, Nate, but he started last season and previous years for this squad.
They need a bucket, but they got 5 Austin Williams waiting for him at the rim.
There he is on cue. Williams' 5th block. Harper on the run to the rim, and he's fouled. A chance to give Drexel the lead from the free throw line.
Every time out, there should be a coach saying to Troy Harper, keep driving it, keep driving it, keep driving it. Here it is again, in transition. You got the defense scrambling. Got him with the body a little bit. I don't like that's an NBA kind of thing. If it goes in, he's not going to call it. If it doesn't go in, he calls it. Which makes it seem really late, and that's why people get upset. If it's a foul, call it. If it isn't, don't call it.
Harper, an 82% free throw shooter. Beautiful rotation. And a lead for the Drexel Dragons.
And more importantly, if he makes this one, they're going to be able to press again.
James Madison has missed their last 12 shots.
The tie is off for Coach Rowe. I don't blame him.
Harper makes them both, and just like you said, Drexel now can set up that press.
Well, it takes time off the shot clock, and it has bothered JMU so far.
Drexel on an 8-0 run.
Mr. Williams has had a lot to do with that. He's just been blocking shots or altering shots at the rim.
Under 5 minutes. A lot of whistles in this basketball game.
A lot of people think if a guy's bothering you like that and he's got 3 fouls, take it right into his chest, get the 4th foul over. They haven't done that.
Harper called for that foul, his 3rd. 44 personal fouls called in this basketball game. Pretty even. Drexel with 23-21 for James Madison.
On the line, number 1, Matt Lewis, 1-1.
1-1. Matt Lewis makes the first, and Lewis, all rookie team selection. See Lou Rowe, jackets off, ties off. 4:51 to play.
By the way, just to make it wasn't the jinx, it was the basket.
Is that what it was?
He's better at this basket.
He's doing well down here. Misses first 3 of the night. Makes those 2. Lewis averaged 20.5 points per game over the final month of the regular season as a freshman, and he ties the score back up at 54. Isabel slips. And James Madison forces a turnover.
Have you noticed when they get in this corner of the court, there's some kind of light that hits him in the face?
I just noticed that too.
I don't know. There's no windows in this arena. I don't know what it is, but it would be bothering to me. It looks like it's right in your eyes when you're like on the low wing on the left side for Drexel. It's weird.
There's a strange light, you're right, at about where the three-point arc comes near the sideline.
It's the second time I've noticed it.
And only worth mentioning only because it looked like it was in Mojica's eye as he dropped that basketball. Here's Lewis. He made 2 free throws. Now on the attack, and he'll go back to the free throw line.
And I believe that will be on Austin Williams. Yes, it is.
So looking at the foul trouble for Drexel, 4 for Lee, 4 for Williams now, 3 for Harper, 3 for Demir, 3 for Miles, and there's still 4:20 left to go in this basketball game.
I think on this shot, you got to get Williams out because it's 4:20 to go, so there'll be a timeout in 20 seconds. Coach Spiker's going to leave him in there.
Lewis up to 15 points.
Trust his senior.
Missing the second.
That's where you get the crazy over the back foul and the rebound, but he didn't.
For James Madison, Mosley has 4 for Phillips, 3 for Banks and McClain. So everybody in foul trouble. Lee, he's got 4 fouls. Stuckey.
That's quick on quick right there.
A behind the back dribble and a miss.
He knows he's got 4 fouls. He stayed away from the man but went after the rock. That's a heck of a play by Williams.
James Madison has missed their last 13 shots. Isabel, he got off to a slow start, but now he's got 14, and Drexel on top.
There's the acrobatic move, and he's changing up how he's coming off ball screens so they can't double him. That's a heck of a play.
One of 3 players in double figures for Drexel, 11 for Mojica, 10 for Williams. James Madison without a field goal in almost 8 minutes now.
And it's not always their fault. This guy in the white shirt's playing some defense.
Way off Lewis.
Coach Rowe just dropped his head like, what are you doing, freshman?
That's 14 straight misses for James Madison from the field. Somehow they're only down by 2.
That's because they're playing Drexel. See, he went away from the screen. That's really a smart play. Williams sets the screen. He knows he's getting double teamed, so Isabel goes away from it, draws a foul, going to go to the line.
56-55. It's Drexel and James Madison, so you know it's coming down to the wire. We'll take our final time.
What am I going to do if Williams gets his 4th? That's the first thing in your mind. And for Lewis Rowe, I think you just got to go back to basics. What's our best play? What's our best set? And run it. If it goes in, fine. If it doesn't, at least we gave him our best shot with our best sets. I really think if the freshman's got the guts to do it, Zach Jacobs, take it into Williams' chest. If he blocks it, he blocks it. But if he fouls you, that's his 4th.
Williams with 6 blocked shots. Isabel doing it from the free throw line. He's been cold from the field, but matches his team's largest lead of 3.
Different press. They're denying the inbounds pass.
Going with the veteran point guard down the stretch here,
like
playing the senior.
That's smart. You leave Lewis on the floor, just let him be a shooter and let him be an off-the-ball player. Right there, he's got it.
14 straight misses for the Dukes.
Lewis didn't want to shoot that. He wanted to pass it.
Mosley, 15 straight misses.
Boy, and Austin Williams straight up in the air, bothered the shot. But I like the play. Take it into him. I just think you got to take it right into that 5 in the middle of his chest. Make him make a play defensively.
The ice arena underneath this court, not the only reason it is icy cold on the James Madison side of the floor.
Well, you don't want to screen now. You want Isabel not dealing with double teams.
6 seconds. 4 seconds for Isabel. Squares, fires, hits! Tuesday night to decide a champion. After this game, we've got Delaware and Elon in game number 2. We'll have it right here on CAA.tv, but still a minute 42 to play to determine a winner in this one.
They don't need threes, they need baskets. They just need a bucket. A three-point play would be great for an and one, but they need to get a good shot and take it to the rim if possible.
Mosley trying to end the drought, cannot. 16 straight misses for James Madison.
Now the question is for Coach O, you want to extend the game or you just want to play it out? Looks like they're not going to foul. They can take it under a minute.
This is Drexel's largest lead. And there's the foul, Lewis. James Madison, 10 team fouls, so Isabel will shoot a pair.
We said in the beginning, he didn't go to Missouri because he wasn't a good basketball player. He's a special basketball player who started in Missouri and is now obviously with the Drexel Dragons. 28 a game his last 4 games. He's not going to get that tonight, but he gave his team a lift when they needed it, and he made a big three a couple possessions ago.
Well, he got to 20 with that free throw, and Jermaine Isabel coming out of high school, number 56 point guard in the class of 2014. Out of Garfield High School, big-time high school out there in Washington. Brandon Roy, former Rookie of the Year, played there. So did Tony Roten. And 20 points for Isabel has his team in a good spot. Their largest lead, 62-55 as we approach a minute. Mosley finally, after 17 misses in a row.
Now you got a foul.
Snowden chasing Harper, and you can't be selective at this point.
No. Of course, every assistant coach has the free throw percentage of every player, but when it's a situation like that, if you're not denying the ball, there's the bucket by JMU to get him back in this thing. If you're not denying the ball, whoever catches it, you got to foul him. You can't be selective, you're right.
If you could be selective, you wouldn't have chosen Troy Harper, 82% on the season.
You want to extend the game now. If he makes 1 and you make 2 or 3, keep doing that. If he makes 2 and you make, obviously, 2, you're trading baskets, that doesn't work. You need a three-point play, not a three-point shot necessarily, but a three-point play.
And if you're James Madison, you look at your offensive performance down the stretch, had a 10-point lead, and then went 1 of your final 18 shots.
Austin Williams blocked shots and changed shots. He changed the nature of how they attack the basket, or their lack of attacking the basket.
Snowden a 3-ball. Big one.
Good shot.
That's a huge three-pointer
right there,
for James Madison.
You didn't trade baskets. You gave up 2.
Can't get it in. They have 2 timeouts remaining.
Well, that's not the guy you want to let have the ball.
Lewis pokes him. Harper was the inbounder in case he needed to get the basketball back. They got it to Isabel, and Isabel 8 of 10 today. Zach Spiker's team in good position if they can make some free throws, but James Madison certainly
they're not out
of it at all, and especially you add to it that it's the first game in March and anything spectacular can happen. We already saw a 4-point play opportunity at the buzzer to end the first half.
42 seconds is a long time. What you're hoping is he misses one of these and you get a 2 or 3 at the other end. He makes them both. You got the 3 last time. You still cut into the lead.
Isabel 20 points in now 16 games this season, 21 after that free throw.
I said he wasn't going to get 28. I might have spoken a little too soon.
That's right.
But he's going to get fouled and he's going to have the ball in his hands. It's money.
Conley knocks in a pair.
I like this. Drexel just to slow him down because JMU wants to get down to the other end as fast as possible.
Don't want to foul here if you're Drexel.
Get him in a scramble, take it right to the rack. There you go. Oh, geez, you missed it.
He saw Austin Williams out of the corner of his eye is what happened there. Snowden with the reach-in foul. Stuckey Mosley got to the rim and saw the big man, number 5, standing to his right.
Let me tell you something, Scott. At the end of this game, everybody's going to say, Tremaine Isabel, what a great game. He won the game for us. They're not going to talk about number 5. That man changed the way the guys in the purple shirts attacked the basket. He did it by blocking shots. He did it by changing shots. And he did it with 3 fouls and didn't get his 4th. Now, if he gets a 4th, doesn't matter. Well, it matters, but I mean, it's not over yet. But he did a great job as a senior. Remember, Coach left him in with 3. He trusted his senior late down the game. Coach Spiker's looking at him and said, calm down, you're okay. Talking to Austin Williams, 6'8", 245 out of Richmond, Virginia.
15 rebounds for Austin Williams as Isabel again makes the free throw, 10 points.
And what does the winner get here? They get the opportunity to play the number 1 seed, the Charleston Cougars.
Charleston, one of only a handful of teams in the country undefeated at home this season. This, while not a home game,
it's not far from home.
It's not far from home for the Cougars.
It's about a 10-mile drive to their arena.
Greg.
Right to him. He's changing shots, I'm telling you.
Just unbelievable effort from Austin Williams on the inside. I don't know if he'll get credit for any block shots in that possession, but he altered every single one, and this Drexel crowd owes that man an ovation.
He get whatever they're giving for a post-game meal. He gets 2 of them tonight. Watch this effort. He's not near the guy to foul him. He just keeps going up, keeps it alive, and keeps going after the basketball.
Unofficially, 7 blocked shots for Austin Williams. Nearly a triple-double with blocks, playing in the CAA Men's Basketball Championship.
That was coming from number 5, Darius Banks, his 4th.
I was just going to say, Coach, you going to let him sit? No, he's not going to let him sit.
On the line for Drexel.
Coach Rose begging for a technical. He's upset.
James Madison made 2 of their last 23 shots in this basketball game after going up by 10.
I think he just... I thought he was going to tee him up. He's not going to. I mean, this time of the game, you know, you just got to take it from the coach. You don't do that.
Conversation going on with Lou Rowe and Anthony Franklin near half court. That's a good job by Franklin.
No, it is. He's taking it from a lot of great coaches. He understands he's not going to do that. That just embarrasses the coach. I mean, no matter what he says, he's got to deal with it.
Mosley will make it so that his team does not lose by double figures. The final score won't tell the whole tale. It was close throughout, but Drexel down the stretch, doing it with their defense. They advance to the quarterfinal round of the CAA